Today's Morphin Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop and Pop, which is now August the 27th to the 29th, 2021 in Atlanta, Georgia. And Ranger Stock Convention, which is now November 11th to the 14th, 2021 in Orlando, Florida. Go to rangerstop.com for more info.
You might have a new body, but you're still going down.
Foolish Rangers, go ahead and fight. But with every passing second, I become stronger.
End of flashback.
A cell shift morpher, that could mean only one thing.
I was Venjix! I have had many forms, and now my victory is certain.
So, Mr. Laing, how are you?
I'm surviving the pandemic. I'm well. I'm really well. I'm very happy to be in this country at the, this tiny country at the bottom of the world where we are very safe in comparison with the way everywhere else is. So we're very lucky here. We don't have community spread. We can actually go out in public and socialize, and our death toll is low. So I'm feeling very blessed.
That's good. You're making us feel envious.
Yeah. I try not to. Every time I talk to one of my friends overseas, it's just like, I'm really sorry, but not only are we in the middle of summer, and it's great weather, but we can go out, we can socialize, we can get together with family. Christmas was just an ordinary Christmas. It's been amazing. We're very lucky because we had great leadership, because we listened to science, because we locked down. So hopefully you guys, with your new leader, are in for someone looking out for you and looking after you much better than it has been.
So hello guys, welcome to a very, very special interview. And for the first time in history, Ranger history, the boys of Venjix himself, the Venjix virus, not Venjix from Wild Force, the actual Venjix virus.
Venjix virus.
Andrew Laing, how are you doing, Andrew? Thank you for being our special guest.
Very welcome. I'm very happy to be here.
Awesome. So we started. So Andrew, how did you start with acting?
It's what I always wanted to do. I grew up on an orchard in the middle of nowhere, but was obsessed with television. So I watched a lot of TV, and I especially loved old black and white movies. So, movies from the 30s, 40s. So I was obsessed with Cary Grant and Jimmy Stewart and Katharine Hepburn. And I didn't know that it was a job, but it was just like, I want to do that. And then I discovered theater when I was at high school, really. And then that was it. I just wanted to be on stage. I wanted to work on stage. And so I did everything that I could to make that happen.
Amazing.
Thanks.
When you say that was the old shows, I actually am a huge Aubrey Hepburn fan. I actually love her sitcom. So yes, so I feel with you. They're amazing. Yeah. And because my parents forced me to watch old shows, so.
Good. I think everybody should. It's really important to know where we came from and how we got to where we are now. But I just love those old films. Everybody spoke so fast, and everyone was so clever and smart, and I just wanted to be witty and urbane, and and then I went to drama school, trained at Toi Whakaari, the New Zealand drama school here, and have been working mainly in theatre, and then eventually TV, and then eventually voice work. And now I do, whatever anybody's prepared to pay me to do.
Hey, do what you love.
I do. I love what I do. I am lucky. I never, I didn't get into this business for fame or for money. I got into it because there is nothing else I can do. And that's always the advice I give to younger people who want to get into this business is if there is anything else you can see yourself doing, do that. Because, oh man, the heartbreak, the rejection, the constant just not, people, based on the way you look, the sound of your voice, you're constantly being rejected and let down, and but you also, the highs are pretty high.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Our next question, but for those who don't know, Andrew was, aside from Venjix in RPM, he was Master Lope in Jungle Fury, the Messenger in Super Megaforce, Eximus in Dino Charge, and Oculus in Power Rangers Mystic Force. And funny enough, we just found out he was the Venjix lookalike in Ninja Steel, so it's funny, he voices Venjix, and he also voiced the bootleg version too. So,
told you, big fan here. He's a big fan.
Obviously, wow, that's amazing.
And of course, Jed,
oh yeah.
So,
how could you forget?
yes. So, with that being said, how did the voice acting get started?
I had been living in work had taken me to living and working in Australia, and then I came back and did a couple of years on a soap opera here, playing a doctor. And after that finished, I just put a voice demo together, got a voice agent, very quickly got taken up to do promo work for TV. And then, auditions just, you audition for stuff. I think my first one with Power Rangers was Copy Otter.
Oh, yeah.
That's under.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Way back.
He was funny.
That was, and, I'm not particularly demonstrative. I'm a little bit shy and insecure. But I found that when you're in the booth with cans on, and I could just make a total fool of myself. And that really lent itself well to it. And I discovered this, the joy of, the stuff that you do in the privacy of your own room, the voices that you make up in your head, the silly stuff. As long as no one's watching, I can do that. And then it's just gone from strength to strength. I do a lot of voiceovers for TV and radio. I narrate. I've had a great opportunity to narrate a lot of documentaries for National Geographic for their Megastructure series. And I do talking books for the Foundation for the Blind here.
Well, that's cool.
Amazing. It's a wonderful thing. It keeps you, it keeps the muscles working, because most of my work is in theatre, in New Zealand, in Australia, and little bits of TV here and there, occasional movie role.
Now, we all know that you're part of a little show called Power Rangers.
Yeah.
So, Andrew, how did you start working for the Power Ranger franchise?
Hey, well, I got an audition. When characters come up, they will put an audition out. You'll get a generally it's just a brief about what the character kind of is. You don't even get a photograph, or it's not even put together yet. You go in and you think, you create a voice for it. You're one of many people who probably do it, and sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. I was really lucky. I think Copy Otter was the first one that I got, because I went in and just made a complete fool of myself, and it was perfect, because all I read was that, okay, this is a creature that was he was synthesized from a photocopier, an otter, and a bell pepper.
Yep.
So, stupid flippers, and shot capsicums out as flippers, and it just sounded so ludicrous. And I came up with a strange voice and did that. And I was mad and got it. And because I had seen Rangers. It didn't really play here way back when it first started. Or if it did, I never got to see it. But once they started filming here, which has been here for about 20 years.
Roughly 2003.
Yeah, 2003.
Yeah. It's been great for our industry. And, we're a small world, but it's a great training ground for our technicians, our crew, and our performers. So we are very lucky to have Rangers here, and I love it. And I think very quickly, I think it was the following year or something, I actually was in it and did Master Lope. And then pretty soon after that, Venjix came.
Yep. And all things change.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how you got the voice of Venjix? Like, where'd you come up with it?
Well, you get it here. This is a computer. Go and voice what does a computer virus sound like? And there was no. I don't recall anybody showing me any pictures of what he was going to be. It was just like, that was it. Here's a computer virus. So I went in, I dropped my voice down to the lowest possible register. And I knew that they were the amazing engineers down at Inside Track were going to treat it. So it was put through lots of filters. It would be worked and twisted. So I just had to provide a baseline, and they would do the rest of the work. But it was hard work. Some of the decisions that I had made actually proved to be really difficult, especially once he got into physical form. When you're right down here in the bottom of your register, but trying to do all this sound, because it's brutal. It's brutal on the vocal cords.
I could bet.
But it was great. It was an ongoing job. I'm all in.
Adding to that, Andrew, now, it's not even a question, but can you tell us what was it like coming back and voicing Venjix again for Beast Morphers?
Oh, it was wild. I got a phone call from my agent just saying, that I think it was, I talked to Jim McClarty, who had been running the ADR. He was the character voice director in the studio for many years. He's an amazing actor and improviser and has become a great friend. And he just said, look, there's this thing coming up and it's totally hush-hush. We're not even going to tell your agents what it's about. No one is allowed to know, but we're going to bring him back. And there's going to be this whole sideline story, and we'll hopefully twist them on a path and a completely different character that will then turn out to be. So I had to I had to audition for it again, for the part of Evox, because they wanted to know that it was a totally different sound and appropriate for that character. So we had to very quickly come up with, what does a computer-generated snake sound like? But I'm very grateful to Jim. He is an amazing director, and he's now the vocal coach on set. And we came up with this sound, and then fell down that rabbit hole and went off on the journey. Tried to, keeping a secret for basically, because it was about 1.5 years that I was working on it. And then another 6 months before it actually showed. That was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do whenever you are asked, what are you doing, or what are you off to work, it's just like, I'm sorry, I can't tell you.
Right quick before we get to the next question, Andrew, Power Rangers is based off a Japanese show, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so what's funny is one of the earlier seasons of that show had a character named Queen Hedrian. She was the main villain of one season, and she comes back and be's a full-time baddie in another season. And like a few years, like maybe 3 years ago, I said, like on a Ranger page, I was like, wouldn't it be neat if Power Rangers did this? Like had a reoccurring main villain. And then 3 years later, Beast Morphers happened. So, woo, that was cool.
Hey, awesome. See, call things into being. You never know the power.
When you actually got revealed as Venjix, I legit screamed and dropped the phone. I called this guy. I was like, yo. I was like, you watch it? He's like, yes. I'll just say every Ranger board or Ranger fan blew up when he found out you came back. And what's funny is, we were kind of theorizing, like, hey, would it be cool? We were actually at Morphicon, when we showed a trailer, like, hey, it's a virus. Like, hey, would it be cool, like, if that's actually Venjix? It's like, yeah, but, like, we don't know. It's been, like, 10 years. Like, I was like, you never know. And look what happened. All the scouters are like, I told you.
Yeah, so I heard from Jim and from several people as it was going on, that they were saying that it is that all the fanboys were going, hey, look, I think it's this. Look at his name, because I was doing it under a pseudonym as well. And yeah, that just it was great. It was great fun.
Wait, so you did voice Evox?
Yeah.
So that was a fake name?
Yeah. Randall Ewing is an anagram of L. Laing, Andrew.
That is awesome.
That's me, dude. That's me.
Hey guys, for the first time here, it's actually an Andrew.
What I wanted to say is, yeah, Venjix, Evox's plot twist of being Venjix was definitely one of the better surprises in this fandom. Like, it definitely, or franchise, it definitely, like, the way they did it, you know, like, if they gave any hint that it was Venjix, then everyone would be like, yeah, that's him. Like, but, you know, you guys, I thought it was really well handled, you know, like, Venjix is a computer virus. He wouldn't have any reason to say, oh, by the way, I was this thing in another universe. So, yeah. Awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome.
It was really, really interestingly done. I mean, I only really got to see the bits that I did. So there's, you know, because in Evox, because he's in the cyber world, there was so much going on that I had no idea about. But the whole relationship with Blaze and Roxy, the manipulation of everyone, and then you realize that the manipulation was actually a manipulation again, and the powers. That's great fun.
Yes. I'll say this before I go to the next question. I'll say this. You were actually my number one main villain of Power Rangers. That's not being me biased, in case you're here. It's because you actually did ruin a world and almost ruined another world, and you visited another world and almost ruined that world. You actually technically won.
I absolutely agree. He set out to destroy humanity, and gosh darn it, he almost came close.
And Ken here actually has a fan theory that you actually showed up before in the past. Ken, what's the fan theory?
Yes. So back in Power Rangers Wild Force, we met this guy who name was also Venjix, and like a lot of people like are starting to speculate, like when he was defeated, like he went out in a big way, and like some people think his AI wound up in the RPM world, and like Alphabet Soup got their hands on it, and like, you know, basically programmed him into the new Venjix. So
I don't know. I don't think Dr. K would agree with that. I think she will take full responsibility for the creation of Venjix. After that, it's all just the powers of manipulation.
Yes, but it's kind of cool though that the name Venjix actually appeared like 9 years before your season. That was actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's also eerie to think we see Venjix, you know, appear in front of during the Dino team up. We see him, you know, appear to the three Dino teams, and it's kind of eerie to think that they had no idea who they were really talking to. Like, that's, you know, kind of a little intense and a tad scary, but yeah, it was.
Yeah,
really...
the whole Evox thing, when you realize what he actually did to Nate, that was brutal, man. It's really mean, which is perfectly Venjix, you know.
Oh, and you killed 3 Rangers too. I just noticed that. You killed 2 Silver Rangers and 1 Gold Ranger. So yeah. So my next question is not Power Ranger related. Something your past. And your past project that my parents actually loved watching you before. They actually asked me to ask the question. So you were actually in a soap opera called Shortland Street. Can you tell us your experience while working on Shortland Street as Dr. Nigel? Were you Dr. Nigel, right? Nigel?
No. That was I've actually been on it twice.
Oh.
So I played the last one was the longest stint, 2 years. I did it in I did a small couple of months in the late 90s. Then I went and worked overseas for a while. Came back and did 2 years on it as Jeff Greenlaw. And so he's an oncologist and also owned the local pub and was a sailor. And it was great fun. Soap operas, because they just, you know, you're working so fast. There's not a lot of, without wanting to sound mean, there's not a lot of art to it. You can't bring a lot of your craft to it, but you get very good at learning lines. You get very good at turning up and doing, so exercising of the muscle is great. And while I was there, I got to work with some wonderful actors, amazing crew, because the crew works so hard. When you're churning out 5 episodes a week, so each 5-episode block is shot over 2 weeks. So you do location stuff and rehearsals, and then you're doing in the hospital. So it really works the muscle. It gets you up and running, and it's nice to be paid a weekly wage. So I had a great time. I also got to work with wonderful people. My younger sister was played by Anna Hutchison, who ended up being the Yellow Ranger in Jungle Fury. So when I turned up as Master Lope, I got to work with her again, and that was what she is now. She's my family. She'll always be my little sister.
Aww.
Yeah, we've met Anna, and she's amazing.
She is the sweetest girl. I just love her. To bits.
Yeah.
And she's watching her grow, because when she started on Shortland Street, she was like 16, still at school or just left school. And I've got to watch her grow up and hopefully be a part of her family and her world, and then watching her just, really take off when she was the Yellow Ranger, and then head overseas and do great stuff, Cabin in the Woods, and just great work. And now she's a mother, and I love her.
Yeah.
When you came on to be Master Lope, did you ask if you could be like Anna's mentor character in that episode, or was that already originally decided?
That's already decided. I think they wanted to go with so who was it? It was Master Gwyn, the spirit of the penguin. Michelle Langston was her spirit guide, because we were trapped in a spirit world. I think the three masters, and somehow then got bored out and turned up again for the big fight at the end and the final act. It was a lot of fun. Weird facial hair. I don't know what we were doing.
That reminds me of one other thing. Is those
here we go.
Is those plants really purple?
Honestly, I don't recall. We shot that in a forest just out west by the right on the coast, in a pine tree forest.
Mm-hmm.
And no, that's just amazing set dressing.
Okay.
The crafts, the team who work, the set dressers, the costume designers, they are amazing people, and they make it look otherworldly. And sort of because we were existing in a spirit world still. I think they treated it afterwards in post, so changed the colors of the actual things.
Okay.
A good question.
Did you ever think the Power Ranger franchise would be as big as it is?
Well, it's been around for such a long time prior to it coming here. It's amazing, and the fans are so. I don't want to use rabid is a bad choice of word, but the fandom is extraordinary. You guys, the fans, are the ones that keep it going, and it's amazing. And we're just thrilled that it does keep going, because it's great for our industry, and it's a great training ground. So, yay!
Yes. Hopefully in the future we can see you in the future. Hopefully when this pandemic is controlled or over.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yes.
We could see at a few Morphicons and Ranger stops.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to our sponsors, Ranger Stop and Ranger Stop and Pop. So we have 2 more questions for you, Andrew, before we go to the fans. Okay. What is your advice to inspiring actor or actress?
In regard to wanting to become one.
Yeah, become.
As I said earlier, if there's anything else you can think of doing, do that, because it's tough. You know, there's a lot of competition. There's so much rejection. Train, learn, watch everything you can. Watch TV, go to films, go to theater as soon as you can get back into the theater. And just work up your skill base. But also, what became really important to me and was taught to me very early on is you are the only you. So be the best you can be. Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to emulate someone else, and always be kind. Turn up on time, know your lines, do your stuff, and you will be rewarded in many, many, many ways. But yeah, if there's anything else you can think of yourself doing, do that.
Awesome. Okay, right. Yes.
And what would you say to anyone wanting to get into voice acting?
Okay, it's a muscle. The more you do it, the better you will be. Learn stuff, exercise your mind, learn songs, learn poems. You see something written down, pick it up, read it out loud. Get used to the sound of your own voice, because as soon as you put the cans on and you have to, I hate listening to the sound of my own voice back. That's just, it's horrible. But you've got to exercise the muscle. You've got to work on your range, and you've got to be prepared to take chances. You know, as I said earlier, once you get into the booth and you know you're not being watched, there's an incredible freedom in there. So, you know, play around with the sounds, but get used to the sound of your own voice, what you are capable of, the highs, the lows, and listen and learn. Listen and learn.
Before we go to my final question, so Andrew, which friend of yours wants to say hi? I can't show it here because it's not showing, but I can show here. Someone named Jeremy Birchall wants to say hi to you. He says, guys, let's hear, guys. It's Jeremy. Oh, he says, hey, Andrew, nice to see you. You talented human.
He's a great man. I haven't seen him for so long. This lockdown, man, it's just, you don't see anybody. Very, very, because I did one day of Loop Group where you do the background sounds that Jeremy has been running for a long time. I'm not good at that. I'm not an improviser. I like a script.
Yeah.
And being around people, I just became so self-conscious. So I was pretty lousy at that. Jeremy is extremely good. Hey, buddy.
Yes. Hey, Jeremy, I don't know why it's not showing here in the chat, but I got you. Don't worry. So, Andrew, our last question is, you don't have to say, but do you have any upcoming projects that you're allowed to tell to your fans or to the viewers?
I have. I think I'm allowed to say, but okay. I've just wrapped a few episodes of a new Netflix show called Sweet Tooth, based on the graphic novel. So it's been shooting here. I think they've got a couple more episodes to shoot. So that will be turning up on Netflix sometime, hopefully this year. Going in to do some ADR on it, so at least I know I'm not on the cutting room floor. So that will be turning up. So that's the next project that's coming up for me.
Nice.
I'll be back on your TV screens for a little while.
Yes. Now, fans, thank you for this part of this interview, Andrew. Now we go to the fans. Are you ready?
Okay, sure.
You'll do great.
Andrew Gelb says greetings from Argentina.
Hola.
Paratimash Marsukar says greetings from Mumbai, India. Yes.
Namaste.
Yes. Mauricio Espinosa says, "Hello, Venjix.
Kia ora, as we say in New Zealand.
Can you make Venjix voice? Finally, there it is. With this card in the body of Night, I've been revived with Neo Venjix. I will have my revenge, and soon the Morphin grid is mine. Ha 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 ha."
Whoa.
No pressure.
No. Can I? Oh Lord. Without warming up, doing the. Can you make the Venjix voice? Okay. Finally, there it is. With this card in the body of Side, I have been revived as Neo Venjix. I will have my revenge, and soon the Morphin grid is mine.
I would, if it's all right, Andrew. Can you say the line when he reveals, he goes from his, snake voice and then to his original one, just say, I was Venjix. Can you say that?
Lord, okay, so going from what is he saying?
You're figuring it out. Yes, I was
Venjix.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, and if they ever do a reboot of Harry Potter, you should go out for the role of Voldemort.
Thank you very much. I'll take it as a compliment.
That was giving me a bit of a Voldemort vibe.
Oh yeah, it's when you're voicing a snake, what else do you do?
What's it like voicing Venjix on Beast Morphers?
Beast Morphers. It was hard work. It's a killer, and especially as I said earlier, when you go in and you do an audition, and you go, I should do this voice, but then when you get the job and you realize you have to do it repeatedly, doing the voice itself is fine, but Venjix, because he had so many bodies, he kept on being downloaded into so many bodies, and then because he liked doing the dirty work himself, Evox had Blaze and Roxy to do all his dirty work for him. But as Venjix, when you're fighting and you have to, so you'll go in and you record all the dialogue stuff, and then you have to do the fighting efforts, and they're a killer, man. So every attack, every hit, and I don't know why they had him laughing as much as what a computer virus that laughs so much, I got very good at doing strange laughs, but it's a killer. It hurts. You come away basically feeling like your vocal cords are bleeding, which they probably were.
So right quick, when Venjix went back, when you used your original voice in Beast Morphers, it first kind of sounded like it sounded a little different. I think it was because it didn't have the same echoey effect as it did in RPM. But then the part when he says, the universe will be much better when I cleanse it of humans, and I'm like, that is Venjix. That is natural Venjix.
Yeah, I think the engineers, because everything, once you're recorded, the engineers are extraordinary, and they tried to put it through all the same filters. But also, I'm 10 years older. My voice sounds a little bit different. Trying to recreate it as accurately as possible was tough. That was really tough. And I don't quite have the abs that I had 10 years ago. So it takes a lot of work, just the breath control, especially when you're down there making that sound. It hurts, dude. It hurts. That's why I drink lots of water with lemon in it.
Good call.
Definitely I've heard lots of voice actors pop water and lemon.
Yes.
Oh, so much water. So
Martinez, when you came back as Venjix for Beast Morphers, every Ranger fan cheered and cried.
That's awesome. I would have thought people would have been, a little more sorry for Nate and the crew than going, yay, Venjix. It's not often that people are really cheering for the bad guy, but I'll take it.
Yeah, especially in the final of RPM when your virus legit was in the Morpher. I was like, this is gonna be something. That's why when I was a kid, I was like, oh shoot, they might be bringing him back, and like, guess they forgot Link. So watching it now as an adult, I'm like, oh my gosh, he did bring him back, and it took about 11 years.
Did you ever?
I know it took a long time, but we got there in the end.
Did you ever think they would bring him back?
No. Once you finish with a character, generally it's done. You put it away. I finished that. I was straight off to do a show somewhere else and I think I went pretty much straight into making a zombie movie. I survived a zombie holocaust very soon after that. So I was in a whole different world. You do it, you finish it, you forget about it.
Yeah. Josh Johnson. We'll do a few more guys. What's it like working with Anna Hutchison, Adrian Novella, and Jason on Jungle Fury? Jason Smith, Jungle Fury.
Oh, it was great. They're such talented actors. Look, working with other actors is what we do. Being a supporting actor, it's great fun. I love Anna. She's my family. And the boys I didn't know so well, and I didn't really get to work with them a great deal, but they're talented. Seeing young ones come up and be good, and the excitement of getting to do something new, I love it. It was great fun.
Awesome. Tadakis, how was it with Bruce Alpris in the last episode of Jungle Fury? Oh, how was it like work? Yeah. Oh,
he's amazing. He's one of my heroes. I've watched his work since I was a kid on TV and stage here in New Zealand. And it was my first time meeting him, and he is charming and so talented and so generous and so kind. I was extremely grateful. There was a great team. When all the masters came together for that final big showdown, it was fun. We just hanging out in the trailers and just telling stories and listening to when a number of them were the generation older than me, and just hearing their shared experience and the stories of the shows that they had been on and things that they had done. It was great. And working with Oliver Driver and working with Michelle and Stig, we were a great little unit and amongst ourselves. That was so much fun.
Awesome. Sir Martinez says, greetings from Philippines. I love this time last year I was in the Philippines. Oh, sweet.
What part? Yeah, I shot an episode of Almost Paradise there. So I spent the first 3 weeks of... I thought the year 2020 was going to be a great one. It started off in the Philippines, a country I'd never been to, a beautiful place. We were down in Mactan, just off the coast of Cebu. Shooting there, a beautiful place, and working with Christian Kane from The Librarians and Angel, he's the lead in the show. He was amazing, and we got to shoot. And like our first day shooting, we were out on the water on this boat, and I was playing this totally ridiculous action star. So I got to be a real fool of a man, and that was great fun. But being in the Philippines was amazing. Can't wait for this all to be over and be able to go back.
At least you went to Cebu. I've been there more than 26 times, and I haven't been to Cebu.
Oh, really?
My parents was born there, so actually I'm Filipino.
Okay. I got such an amazing place. Flying. I remember flying over Manila, and just, that city is enormous.
Yes.
It's like, when the hell is the airport going to turn up? extraordinary. We had a great time, and I made some wonderful new friends there, and it was wonderful. And I'm really proud of that show that I got to be a part of. And hopefully, if the fans do it, it'll go to a second season, and maybe my character, maybe Jerry, will get to come back. So
Let's do 2 more. Okay. First Planet Kent, your mom says he has a wonderful voice.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Paradise Mr. Corey, what color Ranger would you be?
Ooh. Black. I'd be the Black Ranger.
Black Ranger?
I wouldn't be a Ranger. I like being the bad guy. Being the bad guy is way more fun. You don't have to take everything so seriously. You don't have to take responsibility for anything, and you can justify the destruction of humanity.
Ahira is a hero.
That's a terrible thing to say, but yeah, I like being the bad guy. Being the bad guy is very fun.
Ahira is a hero, but everyone loves a good villain.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we'll do. Well, actually, let's see. We'll do 2 more. President says, "Do you prefer cricket or football?" Oh, soccer, football.
Soccer, football. Cricket.
Cricket.
Yeah, cricket's really big here. Last night we watched. They now play the T20 games, which is just like 20 overs, so really fast game. So, but it was New Zealand rugby against a New Zealand cricket team, just a fun game, and it was awesome. So I love cricket. I'd go cricket.
Yes. Last question, guys. What Rangers would be on your own Rangers team? So pick 6 people, 6 Rangers in your Ranger team.
And let's add to the question. You turn them evil.
Oh, whoa. Well, he's already done it. I would definitely have Blaze and Roxy.
Okay.
They were just so naturally evil. I'd take my little yellow Anna. Absolutely, she'd turn to dark side. That'd be fine. Always keep the team small. You don't want to have too many. You want to keep a small team. So especially when you're a puppet master, you want to be able to manipulate just 4, maybe 5. Just keep them. But Nate, I'd turn Nate because he's smart.
Your co-curator.
Clever.
Who's your last one? Do you need one more?
I'll probably go the original Red Ranger. I can't remember what his name is.
St. John.
Yeah.
Jason.
Because you always want the original.
Mm-hmm.
When you speak that, they're actually all in the background.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Of course they are.
He has all Power Rangers, I have all villains.
I would expect nothing less. Oh, good. See? Villains. Always the villains.
Give you guys a little hint back there. But yes. All right, guys. So this ends the interview. No one's here. Okay.
There's one more thing I kind of wanted to mention, if that's all right. Adeline Kane, she was Tenaya 7 in RPM.
Yes. Yes.
Have you heard of the Purge movies?
Yeah.
Okay, so she was in the first Purge movie, and at the last Morphicon, during the villain panel, I got to ask her, I was like, which world would you rather live in, the Purge world or the world where Venjix rules? And she was like, oh, it's just crappy option A or crappy option B. She said she'd pick Venjix because you just need a downpour and the robot short circuit, as opposed
that's
to
right. Awesome. Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome.
So before we end, Andrew, where can he find you on social media? Or
Instagram, Andrew R. Laing. I don't really do a lot of other social media. My other stuff is private, but I don't put myself out there a lot. But yeah, on Instagram, Andrew R. Laing, because apparently there are lots of Andrew Laings out there.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't actually just get my name, so Andrew R. Laing. Yeah, that's me.
Funny story. When I tried looking for you, I saw you were good friends with two friends of mine, Jeremy and Jeffrey. So that's how I found you.
Right.
So shout out to Jeremy.
Yeah. Hey, Jeremy. Thank you, buddy. Thanks, mate.
Kat, where can you find you?
You can find me on Instagram, brown_K, as well as QR Ranger Book, where I show this massive Power Ranger scrapbook off. So,
yes. And you can find me on Instagram, DancerBoy247. Please follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook at Morphin Network. And this video is interview sponsored by Ranger Stop and Pop and Ranger Stop Orlando. Over here. Oh, here we go. Convention. So yes. And to our second sponsor, Kindled Main, for anything for brands. All right. So thanks again, Andrew, for being our special guest.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you for wanting me on, guys. It's been great fun. I really appreciate you.
Yes.
And stay safe. Oh, everybody out there, stay safe. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. But stay safe. And be kind.
Especially. All right, Andrew. So thank you for starting up 2021 with a good start for our page. And All right, guys. As we do, we'll do goodbye wave. Bye, guys.